Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. I'm just checking my stream real quick to make sure I can hear the sound here. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Okay, I think I hear it. It's not that loud, but that's okay as long as it's going live. All right, cool, great. Thank you guys for joining. I'm going to share my screen here. I'm going to show you my presentation. And I am really bad at PowerPoint, so hopefully I can do this smoothly. There it is. How do I do this from the beginning? How do I do this? See, I really don't like how they set it up so that I have 3 monitors, and because I have 3 monitors, my slides are everywhere. Like, it's supposed to be on this monitor, but it's on this monitor. It's kind of frustrating. So I'm going to share this different screen here. Stop sharing, share screen, and I'm going to share a different screen. I guess I have to adjust how I do these things. Do you guys see my PowerPoint? Hopefully. Yes. Someone said, "What's up, bro? What's up?" I can't see who you are. It says Facebook user. So I appreciate you saying what's up. I hope that you guys see my screen. Okay, Jennifer says yes. Alicia says yes. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, so I want to go get started. Let me see here. Make sure I'm in the right controls. All right, cool. So I really appreciate you guys being here. This is Larry, the mortgage guy, your mortgage insider. I am a certified veteran mortgage advisor, and my goal with these calls, which I do every single week, I'm still rusty on it, or not rusty. I'm still learning because I'm actually doing a Zoom call, but also I do a live stream because I want to let the word out. I want to let everyone, as many people know as possible. A lot of loan officers might do this class privately because they don't want to share the information with other loan officers or anyone else. I really don't care. I just want the veterans to be served better as a whole, and if that means me informing loan officers what I know and helps them help one veteran, that's all that matters to me. Okay, so I really don't care. So that's why I stream, because I want to get the word out. I want to get as many people out there as possible knowing about what I know, because I believe it will help the veteran community and the VA loan community. Okay, so first, before I get started, there's a few guys on here. Let me ask you, does anyone here work with veterans, or do you want to work with veterans? Let me see if I can get a show of hands real quick. Where's my little thing here? Looks like there's a few participants. Let me go ahead and add this person here. Allowed to talk. All right, great. Okay. Does anybody on this call want to work with veterans? And a lot of you guys who are streaming, you might not be able to see what I'm seeing. I have a Zoom, some participants in the Zoom. Okay, great. All right. Could we all say that it's fair that veterans deserve the best possible real estate experience based on the sacrifice they made for our country, and we owe it to them to give them that? Does anybody agree with that statement? Perfect. Thank you. Okay, that's awesome. And it looks like Alicia said use with veterans. Perfect. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you for saying that. the reason I'm asking, because what we're going to do today is I'm going to teach everybody on this call how to provide the best possible lending and buying and selling experience that we can offer our people who are so deserving of this benefit. And over the next few minutes, I am going to share with you those techniques that I have tried, I have proven, I have been trained on, and I have learned throughout my years of experience in serving veterans at the highest possible level. So get comfortable, get your notepads out, and we're going to dive into this. And we're not going to leave anybody behind. So please do me a favor. If you have any questions, please feel free to interrupt me, because I want to make sure everybody leaves this call with a deep understanding of what it is that we're committed to do. Okay. So again, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let me see here. Get PowerPoint. All right, cool. A quick bio. I'm a certified veteran mortgage advisor and branch manager, the Larry Lee team at Van Dyke Mortgage. I'm a licensed loan officer since 2016. I always joke that someone asked how long my wife has been in the mortgage business, and I said a couple of years, and she looked at me like I was crazy and said, it's been 5 years. I'm like, holy crap, 5 years? That means I've been for more than 5 years, because I brought her into the business. So I did the math. I think it's 6 years, right? I have a side hustle as a social media marketing coach and running my own ad agency. The reason why I bring that up is because I'm hoping to use my abilities in my social media to spread the word and basically share my drive and passion to help our veterans with the VA loan. Okay. I'm licensed in 11 states, in Arizona, California, Florida, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. All right. Now, my mission is I love the mortgage business, but was fed up with the lack of education and information clients were provided during their application process. So I created a first-time homebuyer coaching class that provides instant access to answers to questions and simple explanations to the mortgage process and how to qualify for mortgage clients, as well as one-on-one coaching. Unlike other loan officers, I made it my passion to coach first-time homebuyers on the mortgage process, and that makes all the difference. And how I have helped hundreds of people get on the right path to home ownership, and many of them are now homeowners. You remind me of many of my smart, successful, savvy clients who are now homeowners because you are taking the right step to the home purchasing process like they did. And what I mean by that is you're looking for education, you're looking to get prepared. So the fact that you're doing that, I think that you remind me of my clients who also want to be informed. The home buying process is very confusing to most people, but that is why I am here to simplify and make sure you are 100% prepared in the home buying process before anybody else. And what I mean by that is the competition. People who are out there making offers, the same offers on the same homes that you're trying to win over. I want to make it so that you're more prepared, you're more informed, you're ready to go. Maybe you can even get yourself fully underwritten before you get the contract, which is what we provide at Van Dyke. A little plug for me. But if you do that, you can actually offer a loan commitment the moment you offer the pre-approval letter. So you're basically done being underwritten, and you can actually close faster and even offer a faster closing date. But basically, guarantee it's almost as good as cash, right? Because a lot of us are losing to cash buyers and investors. This is a way to compete against that. So I want to help you achieve that. Okay. Again, I'm a certified veteran mortgage advisor. I'm very proud of that. And you'll probably hear from me for the rest of my life about how I want to help serve our veterans. And by doing so, help the community. So I do that with doing loans and teaching classes and just making or bringing awareness to the VA loan. My why, of course, my wife and my kids and my boys, my sons, I call them the Lee boys, especially Hunter and Bruce. Hunter's the one on the left, and Bruce is the one that's pictured with me. I named them because they are on the spectrum for autism. And my goal is to get them ABA therapy, which I heard is a really beneficial for children with who are on the spectrum for autism. So my goal is to generate enough resources this year in order to put both of them into ABA therapy. My other why is, of course, the mortgage business, but also veterans specifically. And if you follow me on social media, you know that I'm actually not very serious. Actually, I'm kind of unprofessional. But sometimes I do post serious posts, and this is one of them. It's on Veterans Day. It kind of explains my why. My father was living in Da Nang, Vietnam during the fall of Saigon. My mother lived in Saigon. My father left by helicopter, my mother by boat. It was U.S. soldiers who helped them get into the helicopter and on that boat, which were probably U.S. ships, okay? They met in Hong Kong, China. If it wasn't for a U.S. soldier, my parents may not have survived, met, and had me, and I wouldn't have what I have today. I might not even exist. Those U.S. soldiers are more than likely veterans now. Thank you, vets. I owe you my life. And I seriously mean that if it wasn't for the U.S. military, I probably would not exist. So I owe a little bit of a debt of gratitude to them. So this is my way of trying to give back. Okay. What is the VA home loan? A VA home loan is a mortgage guaranteed by the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs and issued by a private lender such as a bank, credit union, or mortgage company. And I'm going to check to see if there's any questions real quick and if anyone needs to be added or updated. Let's see here. Allow him to talk. Marie, I'm allowed to talk and promote the panelists. Okay, cool. All right. Now, this part, I'm actually going to sell to you why you should focus on VA loans. And not just because of its features, but because the audio is no good. Alicia? Can you hear me now? Sorry if I pause a little bit, because it is a live class. I want to make sure everyone gets the full experience. Alicia, are you able to hear me? I'm going to see if I can post a comment to share the link to the Zoom, just in case. If Alicia can't hear me, she can hear me through the Zoom. That posts to all my locations. I don't know if it doesn't, or if it does or not. Oh, yeah, sorry, there's another Alicia. And she actually spells her name almost the same, except for there's a C, not an S. Okay, great. She says yes. So I'm assuming that's a positive that she can hear me. Okay, great. All right. I'm going to sell you why you need to focus on VAs first, and then I'm going to tell you about the appraisal thing, okay? Opportunity. Millennials and Gen Z pushed VA loans to a record in 2021. Millennial and Gen Z veterans accounted for more than half of all VA purchase loans in record year for a historic benefit program. According to the National Mortgage News, Gen Z in particular is starting to make its presence felt in its markets across the country. So basically, the VA loan hit a record in terms of how many VA loans were employed in 2021, actually in general. And a lot of it is because of the millennials and Gen Zs. And if you're in real estate, you probably know who's the biggest market to target right now. Who's the what generation is buying the most homes? It's going to be millennials, and Gen Zs are starting to come up. Okay. Non-veteran millennials struggle, whereas veteran millennials thrive. Okay, what I mean by that, and I'm going to read this part too, but it's basically saying that millennials in general are struggling to get into the home buying process or qualify for the home buying process, but veteran millennials are not. And I quote, and despite many non-military millennials having a tough time buying homes, often saddled with student debt and working to save for a down payment, millennial and Gen Z veterans accounted for half of all VA purchase loans in fiscal year 2020, according to Chicago Tribune. Again, why? Student loans or student debt, veterans don't have that because the GI Bill pays for their school, right? Saving for a down payment, that's not a problem for the VA buyers because they have 0% down. So literally, two of the things that are hurting millennials and their ability to buy, the VA in its systems are built to protect against or make not even an issue. Okay, so many millennials are stuck on the sidelines because they don't have great credit, they don't have the savings for a down payment. They continued. Younger veterans and service members are really ahead of the curve when it comes to home buying compared with their civilian counterparts. So should you be marketing to millennials or should you be marketing to veteran millennials? VA loans outperforms all other loans in 2021. And I'm pretty sure if you know a VA loan guy or you're connected to the VA community, you probably heard this because it's one of our biggest victories. But I'm going to go ahead and present it here because some of us might not have heard this, okay? Today, VA loans actually close at a higher rate than conventional mortgages for all home purchases in 2021. 70% of VA loans successfully closed compared to 51% of all mortgages, according to Ellie Mae, a mortgage application software company. And they're being utilized more often as well. Data from the Department of Veterans shows that the number of VA loans went up 8% year over year in 2021, marking the 10th consecutive year of growth. So I think a couple things are happening. Well, of course, the VA loan is just better underwritten, just in general, okay? But also, the awareness of the VA loan is starting to grow. Okay. And it's because of people like myself and other people who are promoting and trying to educate everyone in terms of the real estate industry as well as civilians on the actual VA product, because it's a very misunderstood product, which is why a lot of people have issues with it. And there's a lot of misconceptions because it's just not handled correctly, right? The people who are employing VA loans, they're not well versed in it. They're not well trained in it. And a lot of loan officers who have VA loans available don't even mention it because they're afraid, because they don't know how to manage it. Okay. VA loans are more flexible with buying power. And this is actually my most favorite part about the VA loan, which when I first heard about it, I'm like, that's awesome. And I was wondering why most people don't use it. But the fact that the VA loans typically have lower interest rates than conventional mortgages allow for a higher debt to income ratio than lower credit scores. What I mean by that is you can buy more with a VA loan than you could versus a conventional in terms of income, right, and your debts. And they don't require private mortgage insurance. So basically you save money on the interest rates and the lack of private mortgage insurance. So it gives you more buying power, because money that you'd be spending monthly on interest rates and insurance, you can actually put towards the home purchase. Okay. If you can qualify, the VA loan is the best program out there. Okay. Few statistics. Okay. The military is USA's largest employer with over 3.1 million employees worldwide. Over 1.4 million VA loans were originated in 2021. Veteran home ownership exceeds the national average by 20%. What that means is if you compare the civilian population versus the veteran population, 20% more veterans are in home ownership versus the civilian population. Okay. Military personnel continue to relocate every 2 to 5 years. Career service members move numerous times, which means repeat purchase business. Okay. Texas, and of course I'm in Texas, that's why I'm mentioning this, but they had 1,435,787 veteran residents in 2021, and the number is climbing. And Texas also had 34 billion of VA purchases in 2021. That's an incredible number. Okay. It's actually probably one of the top, maybe if not the top state, right, in terms of VA loans. And 28.2% of Texas veterans have service-connected disability. The reason why that's relevant, because some states, especially Texas for that matter, has certain tax benefits if you have a service-connected disability. Okay, which of course helps with buying power and such. Okay, veteran home ownership statistics. I don't know why that looks like that. Sorry about that. And this is the thing that I think is the part of the opportunity that people don't understand that I want to bring up. Okay, only 24% of qualified veteran homeowners are currently using their VA home loan benefits. So what I mean by that is out of 100% or 100 veterans out there who own homes, only 24%, less than a quarter of them are actually using the VA loan. That means 75% of the veteran homeowners didn't use the VA loan. Okay, so the question is why? Less than 5 years ago, only 12% of veterans were using their VA loan benefits, but it is slowly growing due to the growing awareness among internet-savvy veterans. So again, what that means is that out of 100 veterans, only 12 of them are using the VA loan. So the other 88% are qualified for the VA loan, but they're not using it. So that's a lot of opportunity. That's a lot of zero down payment loans that you can be promoting to, right? 33% of veterans that have a mortgage indicated they did not know about the VA program. Again, it's incredible how a third of veterans who applied for a mortgage did not even know that the VA program existed. That means their loan officers, 33% of the people who applied, those loan officers did not talk about the VA loan, which is a huge failure in our industry. Okay. And 46% of veterans reported the lenders had not brought up the VA loan option, which is even crazier. That's almost half. So literally out of the half the veterans who applied for a mortgage, their loan officer did not even mention the VA loan, which again is incredibly stupid. Okay. I'm upset about that. And that's why I do these classes, because I'm trying to change that or help change that statistic. Okay. But it's incredible. If you think about it, you have, I mean, literally out of 100 veterans, 12% or only 12% are using. So 88% of the veterans out there could buy a house, but they don't even know about the VA loan because half of the loan officers are not even talking about it. Okay. So there's a lot of opportunity there. Okay. Now, in order to make sure we fix that problem, there should be 3 questions you ask every single person that's about to buy a home with you or working with you or apply. Okay, are you or your spouse a veteran? That's number 1. Number 2, are you entitled to disability from the VA? This is of course if they're a veteran. Okay, and number 3, do you have your certificate of eligibility yet? Again, this is if they say yes to the first question. Okay, but you really should ask everyone, are you veteran? And I do. I know it sounds weird. Why would you ask that, right? It's because there's not enough awareness about it, and a lot of the people who are veterans don't get asked that question, and therefore they don't even know about the VA loan. So it's just a extra benefit that you provide if you do ask the right person. Okay. Now we do a myth busting class. It's like a continuing education, and even though I've only covered number 1, which is 0 down equals a weak buyer, and I'm skipping to number 6, is because that's the one that most people ask about, and it's probably why they leave it for last, right? But I'm approaching it because the last time I did this class, someone asked or mentioned the VA appraisal, and I'm trying to tailor these classes to how my audience reacts to the classes. Okay. So that's why I'm skipping the other ones. I will go over those, but I just want you to know why it's out of order. Okay. So VA appraisals are tougher. That's what the common myth is about the appraisal process. And a lot of the reasons why no one wants to accept VA offers, okay, is because of the appraisal, right? There are certain things that people don't understand, that there's actually a way to increase the value of a VA appraisal if it doesn't meet value, which of course a lot of loans are, or a lot of appraisals are not meeting value, not just VA, but conventional and FHA as well. Okay. So it's not like, oh, VA loan appraisals aren't meeting value. It's more like all loans are not meeting value in general, right? There's a lot of that happening, right? But the difference between the VA loan and conventional FHA is that you can change or fix the appraisal on the VA appraisal, but you don't have these options on the FHA or conventional, which of course I believe makes the VA appraisal process superior. Okay. Number 1, Tidewater. Okay. Now this is actually something that is automatically set in place whenever an appraiser goes out and does not see the value that the purchase price is set at, right? They actually tell the contact person, which more than likely is going to be the lender, saying that they need help meeting the value of the purchase price. Okay. So they give us 48 hours, right, to turn in 3 comps. Okay. And it says right here, appraiser initiates Tidewater. Okay. And that's basically saying the appraiser was not able to meet the value, so they will initiate Tidewater, which gives us 48 hours. Okay. No other appraiser does that when it comes to, in terms of the other loans. Conventional FHA, they just give you the value and that's it. It is what it is at that point, right? Whereas the VA appraiser actually gives you a chance to say, hey, listen, it didn't meet, I'm having trouble getting the value that you're looking for. Can you please provide me some comps? I'll give you 48 hours to do that before I submit a value. So there's no value yet, right? Like, let's say the appraiser already went out and it's supposed to be done, and the agent asked me, hey, what's the value of the home? I don't have a value yet. It's like, what do you mean the appraiser is? I was like, no, the appraiser is giving us a chance to provide comps to help him come with a final number, but there's no final number yet. Okay, that's the difference between the VA appraisal and like a conventional or FHA. Conventional FHA, the value is the value. They don't talk to us about the value. We don't communicate with the value. See, that's another reason why the VA appraisal process is awesome. We are trained as loan officers, and probably agents, and you guys know this as well. You're not supposed to communicate with the appraiser. You're not supposed to create undue influence on the appraiser. You can't really try to force them or trick them or bully them into giving you a certain value. You can't do that, right? Well, the VA process is actually encouraging you not to bully the appraiser, but to communicate with the appraiser and try to, as a team, come with the value. right? And that's what the Tidewater process is. Okay. So again, the first phase is that there's no value determined yet. They give you 48 hours to provide some sort of answer in terms of comps. Okay. And the appraiser has either, number one, received the comps and it does support the purchase price, and therefore they go ahead and give us the value that we need, NOV, notice of value, or B, the comps do not support the purchase price. So basically, even though we provided comps, the appraiser still is struggling to get the value that we're looking for, or no comps were provided, right? And this might happen. The no comps were provided because we might know that the house is overvalued, right? Or the purchase price is more, not overvalued, but the purchase price is more than the actual value. We already know this, and this happens a lot in all loans, right? Conventional, FHA, as well as the VA. The difference between the VA and the conventional is that the conventional, you already know if you're overpricing, and you're just going to accept it, and you're going to figure it out, right? But with the VA, we know that if it does end up not appraising based on the comps that we provide, we still have another option, right? And I'm going to go into that on the next slide, okay? But we don't provide comps because we don't have enough of the comps to try to push the value up, right? So the appraiser finally issues the value, meaning they decide, okay, this is how much we believe the house is worth, and then they send the report to the lender. Okay. And that's the Tidewater process. Okay. Again, the hope is it does meet value based on whatever we did. But if it doesn't, then we have another option. Okay. It's called the reconsideration of value, or ROV. Okay. And the reason why I'm harping over this, because my people that I'm connected with, my network, the veteran mortgage advisors, a lot of them do a lot of extra training and such. And they attended, some of the instructors attended like a lending conference for the VA. And a statistic was presented that out of all the appraisals that didn't meet value, only 1% were put through this process. That means if there was 100 VA appraisals that didn't meet value, only one of them was sent to the reconsideration of value process, which is crazy stupid because it's such an awesome process. It's empowering us as a team to try to override the appraisal, right? I mean, think about that. Right? You can't do that with a conventional. You can't do that with FHA. I mean, we only dream about that. We don't like the appraisal. We're going to go and override it. You can't do that with a conventional FHA. But with the VA, they have this process called the reconsideration of value, where you can actually, if you provide a logical explanation and present good information about why you think the home should meet value, there's a chance that they will supersede and override and go above the head of the appraiser. Okay, this is an amazing process. And again, the statistics said that out of 100 appraisals that didn't meet value for the VA loan, there was only 1% or one reconsideration of value initiated, which is crazy. Like I said, right? I mean, every single VA loan that doesn't meet value based on if it went through the Tidewater should be submitted for reconsideration of value. But 99% of the lenders are not doing that. Okay, so this is the process. The lender received the appraisal back from the appraiser. The staff appraisal reviewer, SAR, enters the notice of value into the VA system, and the value is attached to the property and the veteran's social security number for 6 months. That's another thing about the VA, which is kind of cool. It's not attached to the property, it's attached to the veteran. Okay. The second phase is the veteran must request in writing for the lender to initiate reconsideration of value. And that's, in theory, it must be written and signed by the veteran. Okay. And then the staff appraisal review at the lender sends requested dollar amount for the new value to the SAR at the VA, which is the regional loan center, right, who has 50% authority. So basically, the way I was explaining this is you can actually have a request in writing of why it should meet value. You can actually provide an explanation. Let's say maybe the backyard was larger than most of the comps, right? And you don't think that you got enough credit for it. Or maybe there's an extra room. Or maybe the fireplace is a lot nicer than the other ones that are in the area, right? Things that you believe that the appraiser may have missed or did not give you enough credit for, you can actually provide an explanation. And you have to understand about the VA and the regional loan center. They want to approve as many VA loans as possible. They want to put VAs or veterans into homes. So if it makes sense to them, they will give you the reconsideration of value, and it literally overrides or supersedes what the appraiser set as their value. Okay. So this is kind of some verbiage about how or why it exists, and you can reference these if you want. This, as loan officers, this is the kind of information we get. But it says, make sure you understand that these processes are in no way to be considered as instruction to the appraiser to meet any preset value. Meaning, we're not supposed to present this to the appraiser. Okay. The circular says the current ROV practices, we advise stay as current as possible on ROV practices. So basically, there's updates like I think every week about what's going on with the VA loan and such, right? But basically says the reconsideration of value in times of uncertainty, the housing market strengths may be less predictable to report, which is true, right? I mean, right now it's hard to know how much houses are worth because the market's kind of insane right now, right? Appraisers will have comparable sales that took place prior to the president declaring a national emergency, and active and pending sales can be less predictable. During this time, it is important to ensure that veterans continue to be able to purchase a home. VA, the lender, and the appraiser will work together during this time to assist in the best possible outcome for the veteran. Okay, that's literally verbiage in this in these documents. Okay, they want to help the veterans get into the home, right? So if it's reasonable and it makes sense, then there's a chance that the reconsideration of value will be granted. Okay. So details about the VA appraisal, because again, a lot of people think that the VA appraisal is ridiculously harder. It's like crazy to get value. I mean, and anyone who does VA loans, anyone who helps veterans knows that it's the same across the board. You might get some of the above value, you might get some of this below value, you might some that have meet value. It really depends on the market and everything. It's not because it's a VA appraisal is the reason why it's not going to work out, right? But let me explain to you like the MPRs. Okay, so you understand what it really means, what a VA appraisal really means. Okay, it's designed to protect the interests of veterans by providing general acceptable criteria. MPRs generally fall under one of the following: safe, sound, and sanitary. Okay. So examples: lead-based paint, best prior to 1978, a roof, heating, high voltage electric lines. All sounds reasonable to me, right? Sounds logical to me. Cosmetic repairs are not required, right? A cosmetic work is not an MPR, it's not a minimum property requirement. Okay, updating is not a minimum property requirement. Yard work is not a minimum property requirement unless it's causing damage. Okay. MPRs must be approved by the VA. Okay. Veteran and lender must request the waiver in writing. Property must be habitable from a safe, sound, and sanitary perspective. Contributory value of waived items must be considered an estimate of market value. Okay. In terms of escrow repairs, there's no max dollar amount. It can be paid by the seller, the veteran, or a combination of both. If repairs are held or collected in escrow, then you must collect 1.5 times the amount of the bid from the contractor, which is 150%. Only one bid is required. 100% lender decision because the VA only allows 60 days in post-closing to issue a loan guarantee, and there's no seasonal restrictions. So, of course, the next slide would be, we believe that the VA appraisals are not tougher. In fact, I think it is actually superior compared to the conventional or the FHA or the USDA appraisal for that matter. Okay. So I didn't really stop for questions, but does anyone have any questions or comments or anything like that? Kind of just powered through that. Any questions, comments? I'm actually going to unshare real quick. Oops. I'm so bad at this. I'm so bad at PowerPoint. All right, cool. Does anybody have any questions or how do we do gallery? That's kind of cool. Questions, comments? You guys might all be sleeping right now. I don't know. It happens a lot. Like I think 90% of my Zoom participants like log on and they walk away and go take a nap. Alrighty, so there's no questions. Okay, I do want to let you guys know that there is a replay for this, as well as um, another class that I did that was similar to this. Well, I did another class, and someone asked about it, and I actually it was about the appraisal, and I addressed it. So if you want more information, because I'm pretty sure there's things that I said in that class that might be different from what I said today, I'll also put it in the replay list so you can see that. Okay, you know, I actually really appreciate the veterans and what they did for our country, and I'm willing to bet that all of us know at least one veteran who is not in a home that they should be because they qualify. So hopefully this awareness and this education helps fix that. Okay, the VA home loan is a loan other buyers can only dream of obtaining. You've earned this right by serving our great nation, and it's my job to facilitate your dream of homeownership. Thank you for your service. And of course, if you want my information, you can call me anytime, text me 832-606-2193. LLE, my first initial and then my last name, at Van Dyke Mortgage. That's VANDYKMORTGAGE.com. Or you can Google me, Larry the Mortgage Guy, or Larry Lee, or Larry Lee Dallas, Larry Lee Lender. You'll probably find me. Or go to LarryLee.com, LARRYLE. But yeah, again, I really appreciate you guys being on this call, and I will see you guys next week. And again, this is Larry, the Mortgage Guy, your mortgage insider. I'm out.